How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today we're going to find out if my Ferrari's burnt engine is still any good. This is not going to turn out well. I don't know the lyrics either. Hey there, everyone. I hope you're having a really good day. My day just got a lot better because we're going to be taking apart my Ferrari's engine. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is my 1995 Ferrari F355 Spider, and it used to look like this, and then this happened, and now it looks like this. But it shouldn't be a problem because I'm gonna take off all of this burnt mess and we're gonna get to the bottom of whether this engine is actually good or not. But before we get into all of that, I wanted to make a big announcement. Now, I know you guys have been seeing cars like this, my Ferrari and the Supra and Mercedes and Lamborghini and all that stuff, all those high dollar exotic cars. You guys have been asking me to do something a little bit more budget friendly, something that you guys can do at home. So I started a new channel, and it is glorious. You guys should go check it out right now. It's called Wrench Every Day, and the very first episode of a series I'm calling Art of the Flip is out right now. Actually, here's the intro. So the channel is me and Andrew Howell working on cars. You guys should definitely subscribe. You are gonna love it. Also, we have a Patreon if you guys want to support us, because we are gonna be buying cars regularly, working on them regularly, and it's gonna be separate from everything I'm doing here. So you guys are gonna see regular stuff with all my cars on my channel, but on Wrench Every Day, we're gonna have something very, very special, and I'm really proud of it. Go check it out right now. Now, if you know anything about Ferrari as a brand, you'll know that Enzo Ferrari, the patriarch of the company, he wasn't really too fond of passenger cars. He loved racing, but he wasn't a big fan of cars like this. This would be a starter level Ferrari. This allowed him to go racing with his bigger, badder cars with V12s and a lot less interior components. Well, not a lot less than here because I took them all out. This was the baby Ferrari, something that he wouldn't really approve of. However, this still has a real Ferrari pedigree, and I'll tell you why. This engine is called the F129, and it's a direct derivative of the Ferrari F40 V8. Now, the Ferrari F40 had a 2.9 liter V8 with twin turbos. This is a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V8, and it made around 380 horsepower before it all burnt down. But this shares a lot of the same DNA with what's arguably the best supercar ever made. Now, another thing that's really unique in this car is this, not the burn damage, don't worry about that. It says Cinque Valvole, which means 5 valve per cylinder. This was Ferrari's first 5 valve per cylinder engine, and that meant the engine breathed better. That meant the engine was a little bit more refined than its predecessors in the 348 and even the F40. Now, they did go on to make another 5 valve engine in the 360, but the later ones in the F430 just had 4 valves per cylinder. Now, another reason why this engine is so unique and exotic is the fact that it has a flat plane crank. Now, what that means in a nutshell is, let me do a demonstration here. Let's pretend my fingers are where the connecting rods are. So you have a connecting rod going up into the cylinder bore, and then you have another one right here, and they are opposed from each other, but they're in one plane. Basically, you have everything in one row. On a cross-plane crank, which is more common in like an LS or basically any other V8, you have the cylinders arranged like this. The planes of where the connecting rods meet the crank are crossed, and here they're flat. And with the flat plane crank, it does introduce a little bit more vibration, but it does allow you to rev a lot higher and a lot more cleanly, which gives you this sound. So I know some of you are wondering what exactly happened to this engine. Obviously, it was on fire, and that is why it's all damaged. But what exactly caused the fire? Tyler did do a video about what they thought was a problem and that it was likely fuel, and they are absolutely correct. But I got to the bottom of it, and here is a very detailed account of what happened. Right here, you can see that there's a hose clamp back here on a coolant hose, and that is actually the point of the recall. What they do is they put this hose clamp backwards, so this isn't protruding anymore. The reason why is because these are fuel lines, And what happens over time is this hose clamp, since it's here, starts rubbing on the fuel line. You can see it rubs straight through, and pressurized fuel went everywhere, and it just went up because it goes on these hot exhaust manifolds. And yeah, that's just a recipe for this kind of stuff. But it's sort of insane that a 25-cent hose clamp could do all this damage. I mean, when this car was new, this was the better part of $200,000 or more in today's money, and the fact that one small defect like this could just destroy such a exotic piece is, I don't know, it just kind of brings a tear to my eye. Honestly, I'm glad that nobody was hurt when this thing went up, but this is not a big problem in the grand scheme of things, and even though it looks like it, it really isn't, because we're gonna start taking everything apart and seeing if there's anything usable. Now, there is a sort of silver lining to all of this, and that is all this melted stuff, it's made of plastic, and it's not anything integral to the engine. Well, I mean, it is the intake manifold, but I can get another one of those. It's not like the cylinder head or anything like that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just start taking chunks out and seeing if I have a good engine underneath all this crud, or if I have a big paperweight that I can make into a very expensive table. All right, so I hope you guys can see me. Hey everyone, I'm in potato vision. I have a digital borescope right here, and it's gonna allow me to look into the bores of the engine. Now, the cool thing about this engine is that it has individual throttle bodies, which means that there's no throttle body on the intake manifold itself. They're all just right here, and it makes the engine a little more peppy, a little more rev happy, that sort of thing, improves throttle response. But what I did was I took off the entire intake manifold with as much force as possible, and then I just freed this up, made sure that there's no debris going into the engine. I don't know what we're going to end up finding down there, because who knows what went into the engine. This is the make it or break it moment, whether I'm going to have to buy a new Ferrari engine or I can potentially save this one. All right, you see the throttle body? I'm just going to open it up. Now I have freed up this guy, so I'm just gonna go in, and oh no, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this entire cylinder is full of water. Yeah. Oh no, it was on fire. How is it full of water? Yeah, you can see. Let's check the other ones. Okay, that one is, okay, that one has water, and, oh, this one's dry. Okay, that one's dry, but I see, if we go a little further down, okay, not sure if there's any water in there. It does look a little wet, so maybe there is some water down there. There's water in this cylinder as well. All right, guys, so here's what I think happened. I think that when this car went to the junkyard where it sat for a while, it might have rained in that junkyard, and since there is nothing covering the engine, I think the rain just went directly into the engine. So I think that's the culprit, because it doesn't make any sense why the engine would be full of water, but the car was on fire. The engine is toasted. I'm not too happy about that, but it's okay because we're going to be refurbishing everything back here. And the people that placed bets and said that this engine was going to be bad, then congratulations, you won. Good job. But in all seriousness, this doesn't hamper anything on the project. I'm actually more motivated to get this engine out now because I know that I'm not going to be saving this one. So it's going to be even more fun, and I can't wait to start ripping into this. But I think the next episode on my channel is not going to be on this car. It might be on some of my other cars because, as you know, we're doing all the projects at once. So it might actually be this one. It might be my Lambo. It might be something else. It might be my Bentley. I'm actually looking at a delivery that I got for that car. It's gonna be real exciting. By the way, my Instagram followers already know it, so go follow me on Instagram and you'll get a sneak peek at everything I do. If you guys want to contact me, you can do so at the social links down below. T-shirts, knowledge equals horsepower, available for a limited time only on my Teespring link. Go get them now before they're gone. Also, Art of the Flip out right now on the Wrench Everyday channel. Brand new, you guys are gonna like it. Go check it out right now before you do anything else. But until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on cars like this that have very expensive paperweights, but we're gonna make them pretty good anyway, you guys need to wrench every day.